Both of these fighters with 1 loss and 1 draw in their mixed martial arts careers. 5 victories for Brennan, including tonight 19 victories, including tonight for Pat Miletich.
One thing Pat Miletich did say, he said if he ever goes for an ankle or leg lock, it's out of desperation. So look for him probably here to use ground and pounds as the means to finish. Brennan, on the other hand, might want to look towards Miletich's legs. Try to get him into a flurry where they're both looking at ankle and leg locks.
Brennan's trying to lock the legs. Now he has. Trying to use the close guard.
That's correct. It's a matter of feel, what the man on top is doing, whether you do that or not.
An advantage to one or the other?
Depends on what you're trying to do. Basically, when you close it, you're limiting the action. You're trying to keep him close and not allow him to move. And a lot of times people will close him to force the man to try to break that lock. And while he's breaking the lock of the feet, they're moving to try and look for submission.
Miletich has delivered some of those rabbit punches, if you will, to the left cheekbone of Chris Brennan.
This is where he wants to work. This is probably where the fight looks like it may stay a while. It all depends on whether or not Brennan decides to become very active.
Well, for the martial artists, this is the top of the mountain. And certainly for the lightweights, the mountain has been built. And these two guys are trying to climb above each other to see who will be the lightweight tournament champion. Debuting here in UFC 16. From New Orleans, Mike Goldberg, Jeff Blatnick. We are happy to be along with Joe Rogan and our fine crew here in New Orleans tonight. Hope you are enjoying the great combatants who participate in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Brennan did a real nice thing. He was being driven head first into the fence. He reached out with his hand, turned himself, used his foot to fully do a 180 and point back towards the center. Very good savvy in terms of octagon awareness.
Mark Hansen is in the corner of Pat Miletich. You can see Mark Hansen right there. Hansen was the best man in Miletich's wedding, and a nose guard across the line in high school football. Now they are the best of friends. And Hansen,
and they've been spending a lot of time lately, 3 times within 6 months, inside the octagon.
Deeper. There you go. Come on up and whack him. Short elbows.
Pat Miletich's hero growing up was that famous Pittsburgh Steeler linebacker, Jack Lambert. He said Lambert was the man.
And those fans of Pittsburgh Steelers, particularly of their linebackers, certainly Lambert set the standard for several years, both with his smart play, but also his physical tenacity and intimidation.
Now Miletich has those same qualities in his fighting skills.
And again, you see Brennan measuring where the fence is. Miletich trying to drive him into it.
7.5 minutes now into this one. After the 15-minute matchup not long ago for Miletich, he looks okay though. Conditioning doesn't seem to be a factor.
At this point, no. I don't think Miletich, particularly where he is now, he's setting the pace, so he wouldn't be burning himself out unless he felt he had the energy to continue, and he seems very content here to just work the strike game from within the guard of Brennan. He's not trying to pass the guard. He's just trying to hit with the right hand.
Aggressiveness, striking, and grappling, the criteria the judges use in rendering decisions. They have used those criteria once tonight and gave the decision to Miletich against Townsend Saunders.
Half guard now. This is a better position to strike from.
Slow down. You're in good shape. You're in good shape. Keep in position.
You can hear Hansen.
Slow down, stabilize. You're all right. Working it from there. Come on. Pressure up top. Pressure up top. Nice. He's feeling that. He's feeling that. He's feeling that.
He's looking to go to full mount there. It started to step for it.
Working it. Come on. Let's work it out. Let's work it out. Let's get that mount. Come on. Post.
That pressure, Pat. There again, this way.
That's it.
Miletich in the matchup against Chris Brennan. That went the distance.
Must have tapped. He must have
Was
tapped.
able to wear Brennan down. And tonight, Pat Miletich is going to be our lightweight tournament champion.
Well, no, I let it on purpose.
As Big John McCarthy steps in, and Pat Miletich victorious in the lightweight tournament, the 1996 Midwest Muay Thai champion. Here's the official decision from Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner of the UFC 16 lightweight tournament, Mr.
It was by tap out.
Pat Miletich.
It was by tap out. We couldn't really see where we were exactly what the hold was. Miletich was pushed into the fence. And right there, he calls for the, you can see him tapping on Miletich's back, but really difficult to see. He might have had the shoulder across the throat there. Could have had the shoulder across the throat, and there was enough of a hold to get a choke. Enough of a hold to get a choke. Hands weren't locked. It was just strictly the crook of the elbow driving into the chin and the throat caused him to tap. He was punching with his free arm.
Still ahead here in Battle in the Bayou. It is our featured matchup of the evening for the middleweight championship of the UFC. Frank Shamrock and Igor Zinoviev, who just a month ago were watching TV together in New York. That was fun. Tonight is all business.
Me and Igor are friends, acquaintances. I think he's a good guy. I admire his fighting, but gonna kick his butt.
You have arrived when you are known by only one name. Short fights outside the octagon, and very few opponents who fight Kimo leave the match unscathed. Tsuyoshi Kosaka will be his opponent here in our heavyweight super fight, and Kosaka for the last 3 weeks has been training with a former heavyweight champion in his own right in Maurice Smith.
He has traveled to Seattle, and what's interesting about these two, he's training with Maurice Smith. He wants to improve upon his striking. He is a submission specialist, but again, individuality and such determines how well you do here, and you want to improve all your skills to become well-rounded. So he's gone to one of the best strikers in the UFC, and that's Maurice Smith. But interestingly, Maurice Smith learned his guard, which was so important and effective against Mark Coleman from Kosaka.
They call it the TK guard, and now I guess Kosaka is somewhat part of the alliance with Shamrock and Maurice Smith, the best kickboxer in the world. Here's Smith on TK, Tsuyoshi Kosaka.
Submission is his biggest point, and his positioning and his guard. He's not a striker, but he's learning to strike. Whereas Kimo's a striker more than he's a grappler. But TK has a lot more maneuverability and position than Kimo. Kimo only chance either one, to get him, knock him out real quick, or two, cut him. And other than that, TK will win long term.
Kimo has great heart. That's what Kosaka said. And you know what? Kimo said Kosaka has great heart. There he is, Tsuyoshi Kosaka. 4th degree black belt in traditional judo, submission fighting in judo, 12 years of judo training. From Shiga, Japan, his hometown is Yokohama. And you see the former champion Maurice Smith working in his corner.
All the way across. All the way across.
He's a preferred ground specialist. He likes to work submissions down there. Excellent at leg submissions. And because of his experience, he probably will not panic despite a much larger man being on top of him. And something to remember, Shamrock knee barred Kimo to victory in a previous UFC. Look for Kosaka to learn a lesson from that, probably go for that.
Kimo will return to the octagon for the first time since December of 1996. In UFC 3, he became instant UFC legend.
My experience in the octagon, you know, it helps a lot. It helps me to deal with certain situations, whereas before I wouldn't know how to react or how to set an opponent up. Now I can, certain situations, actually react and kind of feel your opponent, feel where he's going or where I anticipate his move to follow up with a finishing hold or strike. I do whatever it takes to win.
He is a very intimidating looking man. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Kimo's choice of preference, but he's experienced in freestyle fighting, Taekwondo, Muay Thai, BJJ, and wrestling. Hails in Huntington Beach, California. He was born in Munich, Germany. There is the man known only as Kimo.
Kimo, great athlete. Probably his greatest asset is his power. Likes to use his hands. He'll be a striker. Obviously, with a claiming Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as your discipline, he has been practicing with submission, and rumor has it he's got a very good guard now. So perhaps he's picked up some great finishing holds as well.
Here is the tail of the tape for the heavyweight super fight between Tsuyoshi Kosaka and Kimo. 29 and 28 respectively. Size is not a factor here in our tail of the tape. And we are happy here octagon side to be joined by David Tank Abbott, who will act as a guest commentator here in our heavyweight super fight. First of all, Tank, have you been impressed with what you have seen so far here tonight?
Absolutely. You know, these guys, they're small, so they have to know what to do. They have to have technique, and you can see them, you know, Chihuahuas fighting. They have to know what to do to take somebody out. They don't got the power to really clamp down and hurt somebody, if you know what I mean. Like a pit bull or something like that.
Like a pit bull, which we have seen David Tank Abbott be in the past, Jeff.
Well, normally a pit bull is the smaller animal, not the larger one. But it's interesting, Tank. You got to admit, fast action, high expertise, and certainly great skill level.
Absolutely. I will admit to that.
Tank, will look forward to your comments throughout this heavyweight super fight. For the introductions officially to the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin our UFC 16 heavyweight super fight. Beginning with the fighter standing to my left. He is a submission fighter and a judo expert with a mixed martial arts record of 25-2-3. He comes to us from Yokohama, Japan, standing 6 feet, 1 inch tall, and weighing 230 pounds. Introducing Tsuyoshi Kosaka. And his opponent standing to my right. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter and a veteran of UFC 3 and Ultimate 96. Standing 6 feet, 1 inch tall, weighing in at 250 pounds. He is originally from Hawaii and fighting out of Huntington Beach, California. He is the Hawaiian fighting legend. Introducing Kimo.
The heavyweight super fight between Kosaka and Kimo. What do you expect, Tank?
Holy smokes, I don't know. Hopefully I expect a fight. I just want to see somebody get beat on, that's all.
Well, interesting. One thing about Kimo, the tournament champion from Ultimate Japan was Sakuraba. Kimo wants a victory over Sakuraba.
They both
Good,
come out
nice
quickly.
shot. Take down into the guard. Submission right there.
Kimo's up.
Looks like he's trying to clear the guard. He's got a quarter guard on now. Nice hands.
Kimo going to be striking here, Tank, the whole time?
Up, here comes a leg lock. Here comes a leg lock. I don't think that's a slow. He's got it deep. That's deep. He needs to come up and step on that foot. He's getting it out. He's getting it out. Keep twirling. He's calm.
Patience a key in a situation like this, Tank.
Well, absolutely. The Japanese are really relaxed right there. They know about submission, but Kimo's got that ankle lock nice and deep.
Interesting.
There you go. Now he's putting some weight on it now.
Sakuraba, excuse me, Kimo really doing a great job here.